Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, no Nello today, so Mrs. Megan Austin had to come in with the opening line. Hello, everybody. Episode 155 of the Alter Ego Podcast. We are here. We are back for your entertainment. I'm your host, Jack Austin. With me, as always, Mr. Ryan. How you doing, buddy?
I'm great, sir. How are you?
I'm so good. Thank you for asking. Mr. Rhino in the Great White North. How are you, sir?
I'm good.
Okay.
Were you unsure?
Mrs. Austin here. How are things going for you?
Oh, I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Doesn't it sound
Doesn't that sound
good? Whew. Had a couple weeks off. Sorry. The Austin household was feeling under the weather.
It was.
And then last year, we were supposed to have an off-site fantasy last week. We were supposed to have an off-site fantasy football draft that the hurricane ruined. And then, hurricanes. So
thanks a lot, Biden.
To go against it.
Check. Jesus, fine.
Oh, my goodness.
Told you I was afraid of no ghosts. I'm afraid of no hurricane.
Speaking of being afraid of no ghosts, sad news out of the wrestling world this week. Bray Wyatt passed away unexpectedly. Ugh.
Yeah, that's
that
terrible.
really, really sucks. What's kind of like a silver lining about this is hearing everybody talk about him, and like his persona in the ring was very Undertaker, very scary, very kind of psychological warfare guy. But the stories of him waiting for everybody at his appearances and being super cool and wanting to talk to everybody and just being a big teddy bear and wanting to just be himself and not be the typical cookie cutter wrestler that goes out there and shouts the same line 100 times. Really, really sad to see Bray Wyatt die. I think he was in WWE the best on the microphone currently, bar none. I think he was the best. He had certainly the most unique promos and character stuff that you had absolutely never seen in your life. Really sad to see Bray Wyatt go.
I've actually heard this from multiple people in the WWE universe, is that he was a phenomenal guy in the ring, but backstage he was even better.
Yeah.
Like he was one of the best guys to work with. He was one of the best guys with the fans. I mean, he was a 10 out of 10 wrestler in every aspect.
Yep. He had one of the absolute coolest moments in wrestling history for me. He had a tag team match with Roman Reigns, and they were getting ready to build something, and then I think somebody got hurt and it never happened. But damn, I cannot believe that we got to miss that run with him. So, sad news. Very cool tribute to Bray on WWE, but he will be missed. That sucks, man. But let's get into it, shall we? Let's talk about it. We're going to start with Marvel this week. Not a lot to talk about in terms of Marvel, so let's let them go first. Okay. Elizabeth Olsen has come out and said she's tired of being known as just the Scarlet Witch. Thoughts?
I'm really getting tired of hearing these people say this. Like we had David Harbour.
I feel like that's something that you should kind of own. I mean, I get it, because you don't want to be like typecast as something, and you don't want people to, because everything that everybody says just kind of drills into people's brains. So it's like the more people that say, "Oh, that's Scarlet Witch," then she's identified as Scarlet Witch and only Scarlet Witch. So like I understand what she's saying, but the same thing, like she should be proud of that. Like that's a really badass character, and if she wants to act outside of that, then she needs to act outside of that.
Yeah, but you want to know what? It's her own. First of all, she wasn't one of the original members of the MCU.
Nope.
Like she didn't come into the game until the second Avengers movie. We already had established characters. We had Hemsworth as Thor. We had Loki. We had RDJ as Iron Man.
Yeah,
we had all of these people who were already known by that character. I mean, RDJ may have been the one exception, but Chris Evans was only known as Captain America at that point. Hemsworth was only known as Thor. You should have known what you were signing up for. You signed up for a multi-movie deal. I mean, you should have known that you were only going to be known as the Scarlet Witch as you went on in your career. That's your decision to make. Don't bitch about it afterwards.
Well, here's my thing. What's wrong with owning this character? I mean, like
nothing.
Scarlet Witch, first of all, this is interesting. We're in a male-dominated genre right now, arguably, and I'm not saying that's good or bad, but typically the fans and the characters are predominantly men, And Elizabeth Olsen comes along, as you said, not showing up till Age of Ultron, and she has completely dominated. She's become a
Yeah.
household name.
She's literally like one of the maybe the most badass female Avenger that
Oh, I'd say she's the most
exists.
powerful, period.
Well,
Like,
not only that, but since Scarlett Johansson left, she is the #1 woman in all of Marvel right now.
Right.
Yeah.
and even
so,
still, I mean, Black Widow is cool as shit, and she's got all these, but she's not Scarlet Witch.
Right.
Like,
right.
Yeah.
Would she rather be known as the Olsen twin sister?
Right.
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 That's a great point, dude.
Yeah, I mean, like I understand, but one person I look to when we see reports like this is Jason Statham, because he's come out and said before, I know I'm the bald-headed guy who kicks people and does action movies. That's what I am. That's what I do, and people love it. So I'm going to do it until I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, he owns it. Anybody who's willing to do the Meg 2, you know what I mean? Clearly he's dedicated. You know what I mean? He's about to be in Expendables 34, which, good for him. I just don't, I'm with you. I don't sympathize, especially when you have all these people out there crying that there aren't enough women. There isn't enough diversity of race, gender, sexual orientation. There's not enough of it. And the one who's one of the females who's the most powerful is that they're like, yeah, I don't like this. Why aren't we mad at that?
So that's what I was just going to say too, is like, to expand on what Rhino said. It's like, she's an idol.
Yeah.
She's a hero to a lot of girls. And like that goes to your point too. It's like, she chose to do this. So you're choosing in an already established, very well established series of movies.
Yeah.
Several movies. Storyline goes on for days. You are entering into that world knowing that you are going to be a badass female superhero character. Like, if that's not the train you want to jump on, then you shouldn't even have auditioned.
Now she
knew what her
just said this in passing. I don't think, I mean, like,
True.
I get it, and we don't need to
Context.
go after her, and that's her opinion. She's entitled to it, but I agree.
Of course.
I agree.
And not even just to target her, even though we definitely are, because Scarlet Witch, but like, just in general, it is kind of frustrating to see that when you're stepping in.
I think this is going to be a trend, though, and I don't want to see it, because like I said, we had David Harbour say this about a month ago, where he doesn't want to be known as Hopper. And I think you're going to get these niche actors who are going to come out and pretend that they could be some Oscar-worthy performer, and that's just not the case. I mean, I'm not saying Elizabeth Olsen is a bad actress by any stretch of the imagination. And if you want to go do more in-depth roles, then do it. But
and show us
embrace
that show us
embrace your role as the Scarlet Witch. Don't just shit on your entire fan base.
Hey, you guys
That's the
ever
thing.
see Kodachrome?
What?
Or Wind River?
He's on IMDb
or
pulling
Ingrid
up
Goes West?
pulling up
Drunk History?
Drunk
I
history.
Saw the Light?
I have seen
Who
Drunk
are
History.
you? What are you doing?
Godzilla?
Who is
This
he talking
is
about?
Elizabeth Olsen.
Oh.
Old Boy? In Secret? No, but we've seen the Avengers movies, and you're freaking Scarlet Witch. Sorry, bro.
Yeah,
My
that's
man
like-
came out just spitting facts today.
Yeah. Guys, I really am tired of being Harper. I'm doing a period piece where it's actually a life piece about Billy Mays selling all of his products. It's going to be me. I'm no longer going to be the Stranger Things guy.
But wait,
Billy Mays
there's
guy.
more.
But wait,
There's more.
there's more. Anyway, Thor 5 rumored to be in production. This was talked about by none other than Taika Waititi. But he also said that they need a bigger villain than Gore.
I agree.
But
No,
they've already had bigger villains than Gore.
You know what they need? They need a new director.
That's
I don't disagree.
you could have
But-
Grouch, the guy from Sesame Street or whatever the hell his name is, as the villain. As if you had a different director, it'd probably be a bomb ass movie.
I'm gonna disagree. I don't think Thor needs to go bigger. I don't think so. I think the best movies with Thor have been Thor versus Loki.
Yes, that's true.
You
That's
know,
true.
Thor's best
He's-
performance in his
no.
entire history in the MCU has been his own internal struggle with himself.
right? And
Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I wasn't saying that because I want to see more Loki, but I'm saying when you get personal stories
Yeah.
that actually are a big deal, that's what people want to see. That's the compelling stuff, not bigger. I mean, Gore could have been the biggest they ever had. He really could have been. They could have gone really big with him if they wanted, but they didn't.
Nope.
Yeah, no, instead they gave a bunch of kids special powers.
Right. That was just, I think Thor needs to go a different direction. I think it needs to be Thor's internal struggle with finding the Odin force and dealing with the loss
we're
of
at Thor
Odin.
5.
I mean,
that would be a phenomenal movie.
At this point, Thor needs to take a step back and become that Odin figure that has a higher purpose and higher things to deal with, to where he's not dealing with thugs attacking a village. Thor's kind of transcended that at this point. But I agree, new director for sure for Thor 5.
Well, I think the reason why we ultimately get a new director is that Hemsworth himself even came out after Thor 4 and said, yeah, it was way too silly.
Yeah.
I think the only way you get Hemsworth back for this movie is if Marvel says, no Taika. We will give you anybody else, no Taika.
I'm sure he loves Taika. I'm sure they have a great relationship, but here's the problem with certain directors and certain views of Hollywood, right? Let's take an example with System of a Down, an old band, right? Everybody used to think that that lead guitar player could really sing, and they wanted him to do more songs, and Serge Tankian, who was their lead singer, to take a backup. And then their album came out and half of it was the guitar guy singing. It was like, yeah, this sucks. We don't like this. You found out that Thor could be funny. That's great. But that doesn't mean you need to make a comedy about Thor.
Right.
Just because Chris Hemsworth can be funny doesn't mean you need to do that. Perfect example, Guardians of the Galaxy. Chris Pratt is funny as shit. That guy is arguably one of the funniest people in Marvel. He can compete with RDJ any day of the week. And then look at Guardians 3. Super serious the entire movie. And anything with just this emotional draw, and that's what people wanted. That's why it was so good. Not because Chris Pratt was out there doing one-liners. Sure, he does some funny stuff in that movie, but I don't think that's the move.
So I'm gonna I'm not necessarily.
Batista was the funniest in all the.
Yeah, he was funny. I'm gonna kind of like argue the opposite of what you said. Not necessarily, but we had Chris Pratt, who was funny from jump, and then he got really serious near the end. So like, I feel like that was very good character development. I feel like the Thor that we got originally was very serious Thor. And then all of a sudden he was somebody different, and he was very funny, and like, that's okay. But it's like, I don't feel like that's not really character development for me. And as a Thor lover, like, I just don't, I get what you're saying with Chris Pratt and, Star-Lord, like that's character development. He's growing up, he's maturing, he's turning into a serious character. And then we have Thor, who comes out and can hardly speak like normal Earth terms. Yeah. And now he's like slinging side jokes. Like, it's just, it's really strange and weird how it was all done. And that's why I didn't really like the last movie at all.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Thor, and I agree with Rhino that Marvel isn't going to pitch it like, we're going to give you somebody other than Taika, but they're not going to go with Taika, because I think it was pretty widely received as just a bad movie. Yeah. And it was kind of iffy when it was, oh my God, what was Thor 3? Why can't I think of it?
Dark World?
No, that was 2.
No, Ragnarok.
Ragnarok. Thank you. When Ragnarok came around, everybody heard from Feige that this was the biggest turning point in that MCU until then. That was going to be the big moment. Hulk was in it. Loki was in it. It was a huge draw. Doctor Strange was in it. And then everybody was kind of riding that hype, and that's why they all wanted to see it. When at the end of it, I didn't think that was a great movie. And I think
Thor 2 is still to this day the best Thor.
100%. 100%.
I feel like it's the most true to Thor, if anything else.
Yeah.
And I did love
100%.
Everybody says that's the worst one, and
he was funny in that one too.
Yeah, he had his, like, when he hung Mjolnir up on the coat rack.
Yeah,
dude, it was so subtle, but I died laughing when he did that.
I'm saying that's safe. That's safe adjustment.
Yes.
Thor 1 to
and
Thor 2, and then we get Ragnarok, and you're just kind of like, you love it. You love the goofiness of Thor, but then you're just kind of like, that's a lot.
Yeah,
like, that's a lot.
But Thor getting in the little Volkswagen and him like squeezing in, and then looking at Natalie Portman being the god of thunder and one of the best looking dudes out there, and he goes, "So who's Richard?" Like, he's got anybody to fucking worry about.
Yeah.
And she's like, seriously? Like that? I don't know. People sleep on Thor too.
What's Tarantino doing? Let him direct the next.
Oh
one.
God,
my
no,
gosh.
no. Make
What a
that,
wild-ass movie.
Strike that from the record.
I'm here for it.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
I'd watch it.
I think there is a genre of Marvel that he could direct.
Oh,
What-
no doubt.
You
like
know
the
what?
Zombie
You know what he could do?
movies?
You know what he could do?
The
Well, no,
Zombies.
no. Tarantino doesn't do horror, zombies, and stuff like that. But I would like to see
No,
him
but he
do
does
a
dark shit.
Blade.
Ooh, that's a good
He could
call.
do a Blade. He could do a Blade. No, you're thinking Richard Rodriguez
Yeah.
I'm thinking Robert Rodriguez from Dust.
or
Till
Robert Rodriguez. I was talking to Megan.
Yeah. Oh, I am. What are you doing?
moving a briefcase so I can move my leg.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I think that would be a good one. If I was going to say anything for Quentin Tarantino, give him the dark side of the MCU, give him Moon Knight
But
talking
he does
to
like
himself,
dark movies
give
and he
him
blows shit up, right? That's Tarantino.
not dark. No.
No?
I want a MCU meets
You got me
Pulp
right.
Fiction type joint. Let's go.
Hey, he can direct Armor Wars.
He can even have his boy Samuel L. Jackson. He can bring back Jules, but he's
Which
Nick
one of these
Fury
armor
now.
suits was yours? The one that says bad motherfucker. Anyway, let's jump into DC, shall we? David Ayer, who was the director of the original Suicide Squad, came out and said that movie broke him. Wah.
oh.
It broke the rest of us too.
Yeah.
How do you think we feel? We had to watch it, bro. And we had
And
to
they
pay
said
for it.
that he highly regrets the damaged tattoo on Joker's forehead.
that is so dumb.
I don't. First
Because
of all,
some Karen came out and complained about it. That's why.
is that really why?
Yes. He had a lot of feedback on social media about having the damage tattoo because I don't want to speak out of pocket here, but it had something to do with like suicide prevention.
It's a movie.
Is
called
what I saw. Yeah.
Yeah, the movie Suicide Squad, that one. Boy, I don't even care. Sorry,
I guess I'm
David.
not
You
as
had your shot,
educated on
David. I'm
this.
sorry it didn't work out, buddy. Have a nice day.
You gave us the worst Joker we've ever seen on the screen.
Yep, 100% true. And you co-signed it. I don't know, man. But Blue Beetle comes out as certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, who I do not hold a lot of weight with Rotten Tomatoes.
What?
I don't really trust their reviews, but it's interesting to hear that they're calling Blue Beetle certified fresh.
I
Oh.
do hold weight with Rotten Tomatoes viewer score. I never care. I never care about the critic score,
I
Yeah.
feel
but I
like
do hold weight with the viewer score.
Oh, Mr. Lamb's
read it
all over this.
backwards. If critics are giving bad reviews, it's probably a good movie.
Probably a great movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Watch
I
this
always
sucker.
feel.
Same here. If the critics trash it, I'm like, oh, we gotta go see it.
It's gonna be a good one.
But they also said they took inspirations from fight scenes from the video game Injustice 2. Can we just stop right there and say more directors of action movies look at video games?
100%. 1,000%.
Crush it.
Yeah.
They're so much more fun. Stop trying to base some of these fantasy fights in reality. Stop it.
I said this on the show months ago. One of the greatest action sequences I've ever seen in my entire life was from Diablo 4. That last cut scene
Yep.
where you go to hell. That I don't care if that was CGI, if it was just completely animated. I don't care.
Yeah.
That was one of the most badass things I've ever seen in my life.
Yep, it's really incredible, and more movies could take from that, the fantastic sides of that. Blue Beetle, I think, is definitely going to be a major staple going forward in the DCU from James Gunn. Who will not be is somebody whose movie we just recently watched, The Flash. We saw it this weekend. Finally, Flashpoint was a movie that we saw, and we were there while we saw it, and it was on.
So it was free. It was on our TV. I fell asleep like 8 minutes in, and I woke up for the last like, 20 minutes.
It finally came to streaming
Well,
on
bro,
Max.
you can't steal my move like that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I Ryaned that movie really hard.
Yeah.
It was bad.
It had
It was-
less viewers than Black Adam, which had 1.1 million.
I'm sorry,
Let's-
I just don't like Ezra Miller as the Flash. I just don't,
I
and it's
just-
not because of his drama and all his bullshit. I've said this before. I'm one of the few people that watch the CW The Flash. I think that what's his name, Austin? What's his face?
Say it to the mic.
I am saying it to the mic. Whatever his name is, he was way better. Not that he necessarily needed to be casted as him for the movie,
Grant
but for
Gustin.
crying out loud,
Grant Gustin, I was
thank
gonna say, it
you.
starts
Why
with
did I
a
say
G.
whatever? Who cares? He was Ezra Miller is. I don't like him.
Yeah,
I'll co-sign that right now. I don't like Ezra Miller either. I don't think he's a good actor.
I'm just not a
Oh.
fan. I mean, I get that he's quirky, but I don't think the people who cast Ezra as the Flash have ever seen any Flash
Right.
content.
Look, the Flash is awkward. He's kind of weird and quirky and kind of dorky, and but he's not like Ezra Miller.
Ezra was just weird. He was just weird.
He played him like like I can't even like he was like anxious and like it was just I don't know. It was like
He
uncomfortable.
kind of Jesse Eisenberged it.
I don't know. I didn't like it.
Honestly, I thought that Ezra Miller as Barry Allen shouldn't have been allowed within 1,000 feet of an elementary school.
Yes.
Like that was the vibe I got from his acting performance.
He was uncomfortable. Like I don't know, man. It was weird. I didn't like it.
The performance. So for those of you who don't know a lot about Flash in the DC, Flash is almost a smarter, more science-driven version of like Star-Lord.
Yeah.
He's very quirky. He's one who is very funny. He's always got the one-liners. He's always quick to do things that the team doesn't think he should do. I don't think that was a good portrayal. Honestly, I didn't even really care for Michael Keaton's part. I love Michael Keaton. I love all of his movies that he's been in. It was cool to see him be Batman again, but I wasn't like blown away by his showing up as Batman. Yeah, the best part of that whole movie, I thought, was Supergirl.
Yes, I agree with that 100%.
What?
I thought you would have said the credits, but you know.
The credits for sure, because Aquaman was in the credits and he's great. He's always great. And Supergirl was the best part of that movie, in my humble opinion.
I really hope they bring her over to the DCEU.
Me too.
The biggest disappointment that I had in that entire movie, even though I thought from start to finish it was dog shit, they gave us bat nipples.
Yeah.
They gave us bat nipples.
And, I wish they would have done a little bit more of the actual Flashpoint. I would have loved to have seen an actual Reverse Flash.
Yep.
I would love to have seen a Thomas Wayne and a little bit more of the Justice League style. And I know there's budgets, and Ezra Miller kind of ruined this movie from the beginning with this being himself. But there was so much more they could have done that I don't think would have been too crazy budget-wise. Because this was already a really big movie.
Well, the story that came out, and I apologize if I'm stepping on your toes with this, if you're going to say this next,
Oh,
but the story that came out was that the original ending of this movie was supposed to set up the new DCU.
Right.
Mhm.
That is ruined. Yeah.
I'm really interested to see what that ending actually is.
Yeah.
And if it would have saved this movie.
I
Doubt
think,
it.
right, because let's go ahead and put that on the table. If the end of your movie and the last cut at the end is what saves your movie sucks.
Yeah, I feel like that was they wrote the movie, they had the ending to move forward, and they were like, this movie was such trash, but we spent so much money, we're just gonna change the ending so that the story just stops.
I think the movie like this is the reason James Gunn is now in the position he's in.
Yeah.
Truly. And because it couldn't get any worse.
I don't know. And I was gonna say, if I'm DC, I might just get out of the movie game altogether.
Yeah, I mean, stick to the animated because they crush animated.
Well, let's see what happens going forward, because Blue Beetle is the start of their redemption story.
But I mean, I don't know
because Blue Beetle had really good critic scores. It did really well at the box office. I haven't really seen a whole lot of shitting on that movie.
Yeah.
So let's see what Blue Beetle does. Let's see what they do with the next piece of the DCU. And I guess we just take it one picture at a time, but that could be the redemption story for them.
I hope so, because I want Blue Beetle to be a good character. I want him to be involved. I want him to be a big part of it. So we'll see where that happens.
But I mean, they've lost so much money. And
Yeah.
what I think is that they said they had to make $245 million to $400 million just to make the money back on the Flash.
Yeah. I don't think they made that.
And
at
I'm
all.
sure they didn't come close to
I
that.
think they lost their ass on
Same
Flash.
thing with Black Adam. You can't keep taking L's and still produce.
Yeah, but you got to remember that's the DCEU.
Right.
So far the DCU is 1 for 1.
Yeah, but
who?
at the same time,
with
though,
Blue Beetle.
differentiate-
with the Rotten Tomatoes version of Blue Beetle. I need to go see this movie.
but
for
people
sure.
also don't differentiate that like that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
to them, it's all DC.
No,
That's-
you're right. You're 100% right.
It's
Yeah.
like if all those other movies sucked, this is probably going to suck. I'm not going to go see it.
Yeah,
They can't keep pumping money.
and
into
you're
that.
going to get people who are in there going, "Where's Superman? Where's Gal Gadot? Where's Ben Affleck?" You
Yeah,
know what
I
I mean?
mean-
Well, to expound on what Ryan just said too, that's kind of what's happening with the MCU right now.
I was just going to say that. That's exactly. what's
Yeah,
happening.
like if this show sucked, why is this show going to be any better?
Yeah. Yeah, and Marvel has missed a lot lately, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later in the show. But I still think that there's room for DC to grow. I think they can certainly redeem themselves. There's been a lot of talk about Superman lately and how it's not going to be an origin movie. It's going to be a movie about Clark Kent and Superman. And they've talked about a lot of villains being added into this movie and a lot of moving parts. So it'll be very interesting to see where they go with it, because obviously Superman is that top tier. There's no doubt about that. You talk about Marvel, there is no clear cut number one, most powerful, most anything. I mean, sure, there's arguments made for everybody, but when you talk about the MCU, it's a lot more diverse. When you go to DC, it's Superman. It is Superman.
Flash.
Well, the good thing about the Superman movie that's coming out too is the fact that they're introducing the Authority, and James Gunn is the one that's directing that movie. And there is nobody on the planet better than introducing unknown characters to the regular group of people who are going to see movies than James Gunn.
Sure.
So I have a feeling that if James Gunn gets, full discretion on this movie, which obviously he's going to because he's the leader of that studio,
Yeah.
it's going to be a great movie.
I hope you're right. I want it to be awesome.
But here's the thing: will I care though? Is he going to direct?
You won't. No.
Well, my point being is he going to direct every movie that comes out in the MCU?
No, he's not going to direct every movie, but he's going to be like that, like the Russo brothers who did the Avengers movies.
Right.
He's going to be the one that's going to do all of the marquee, big blockbuster movies for the DCU.
I'm inclined to agree. I think he will be an executive producer on every single one of them. He'll probably have writing credits on 90% of it too. I don't know.
Which I'm okay with.
Yeah. I mean, James Gunn is good. We know that we have faith in him. He's put out good movies before. But does he wear the rugged yet stylish watches that are the
Oh my
accessory
gosh.
for any man who's always on the go, whether it's DCEU or the DCU? Made with high quality materials and backed up by a lifetime warranty, you can rest assured that your geared watch will be there for you when you need it most. James Gunn probably goes to www.gearedhardware.com and uses the promo code AlterEgo20 to get 20% off his order. You should too. That being said, let's take our first break for the day.
My
Shall we?
husband, ladies and gentlemen, the segue.
We'll see you guys in just a minute with a little bit of video games and then some movie news. See you on the other side. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, Alter Ego Podcast, baby. We're going to talk a little bit of gaming right now. Modern Warfare 2 coming up. 3, sorry. Modern Warfare 3 with upgraded graphics and all that other stuff. Fun new ways to shoot people online while getting sworn at by an 11-year-old.
Now is this like
it's gonna be great?
It's a new base game, or is it just the
new base
No,
game?
it's a new actual game. That's the next release from that studio is Modern Warfare 3.
And they are talking about having open world aspects of this game. I wish they would, because the DZ, is that what it is?
Yeah, DZ. Yep,
that was fun. That was
a
fun.
lot of fun.
That was the most fun I've had in Modern Warfare in Call of Duty in a very long time. But Modern Warfare is talking about having open world zombies. That sounds interesting.
Nope.
Because
go
ahead.
I'm sorry. I was going to say the only reason why I will play Modern Warfare 3 is because of all the classic Modern Warfare 2 maps.
Well, if it comes out on Game Pass, I might join you, but I'm not going to give another dime to Call of Duty because of how ridiculous that game can get.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
you motherfuckers need to bring back Verdansk. Period. That's it. That's all we want.
What? Verdansk is one multiplayer map, I take it?
It's the Battle Royale map.
Royale map.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Bring
I'll
it
take
back
the Alcatraz Island one for Rebirth.
for Rebirth. That's fine, but I need
Yeah,
Why don't they make them all available? Is it too big a file?
it's so they run it. They run their battle royale the same way Fortnite does.
So every so often they change the map.
Yeah, every so often they change the map, come out with a new season, come out with new skins and new guns and all that stuff.
Well, honestly, what it was is because Call of Duty is made by 3 different studios.
Yeah.
So the one
Yeah.
who made whatchamacallit, their turn ended. So the next,
Whatchamacallit?
I can't remember if
What
it was
do-
Sledgehammer.
what do
or
you-
There's Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer, Activision.
What's the
And
third
one that will be nameless.
Yeah, I can't remember the third one.
Stay Black and Die Studios.
Yeah. So when their game was done, they moved over, and then the next one and so forth, and then they finally decided to just go ahead and merge them. But they should at least given us the option to keep one map or play one map.
Right. I agree.
I think Call of Duty will benefit from coming out with a new game every 2 years now, like it used to be. Like you got a title every year, but it was made by a different studio each year. This is 6-7 years ago. It was Infinity Ward 1 year and then Activision the next year. So they had 2 years to work on their game. Now, since they've merged, they're coming out with a game every year by the same studio.
Yeah.
So you're pretty much getting the beta version of that game when it drops.
Madden. It's like Madden. You're getting the same game with a couple of extra quirks.
Exactly.
To me, that's not worth it. That's not worth it.
Do you think Madden could benefit from that?
I think Madden can
100%.
benefit from looking at some older games.
Treyarch was the other one.
Yes.
Treyarch was the other one, yeah.
Madden has become all about impossible plays and the computer allowing that to happen.
Well,
so people who know how to play and know how defenses work and know how things should happen aren't going to benefit from the gamer who knows if you pick this play and wait this amount of time and run right over here, this throw is going to be open every single time.
Exactly. They have a lot of glitches and a lot of flaws, and they need to go to just like almost like a Fortnite or something like that, where it's just base Madden, and then every couple of years or do whatever you pay
Just
$10 for the
upgrade
the
your rosters and shit like that.
But they need to completely rework their engine. They haven't changed that engine, bro, since I got it.
No, they have not. Do you want to hear
trash?
You want to hear a funny story about Madden real quick?
Let's hear it.
So in the state of Wisconsin, any public job anywhere in the state has to legally be posted online for people to submit their resumes to. So when Wisconsin fired their head football coach about 6-7 years ago, they actually had to legally post that position online. And they got thousands and thousands of resumes in.
Of course.
And I shit you not, one dude submitted his resume, and for the experience portion of his resume, he put, "I've been playing Madden for 12 years."
Nice.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that
Checks out.
translates.
That's it.
Yep.
Fucking
Hey,
right.
that's all right. Hey, that's BCS championship winner right there.
Wow. Get him in here.
I've been playing.
Yeah, get him in.
What
Can you
doing,
imagine the
kid?
guy who pulled that resume was just like, oh my God, Richards! 12 years on
Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
Call this guy.
Hey, get our best guy in here on Madden and bring him in here for an
He goes,
interview.
yeah. Hey,
If
how
he
about
beats him on the
this?
sticks,
How
the
about
job is
this?
his.
Big Ten matchup. You were going against Penn State. They're big. They run a 3-4 front. They've been really blitz heavy. What are you going to do? Well, I'm going to tap A. I'm going to roll out to the right, and then I'm going to wait until my wide receiver 1, number 7, because I can't have his actual name on there. I'm going to press triangle. Ball's going to go to him in corner. I'm going to do risky catch in the end zone. You're hired.
Listen,
Son of a bitch, you're in.
if you can beat Pete, you have the job.
Yeah.
We could be Pete.
Pete's nephew still can't beat him. His nephew.
Pete's never lost.
Pete's never lost a game. Look over Pete's just doing all the stretches that he doesn't need to do.
Look, I've played some.
Hope you're ready to sweat, nerd.
I've played some serious man dudes, and bro, it ain't even fun.
No. Let's talk about another game that is fun, very interesting, that I've been playing since the 1st or the 31st.
31st.
Starfield, baby. Got that early access. I have been playing a boatload of Starfield.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't want to spoil anything. So is there anything that anybody in the in the alter ego verse would like to ask? Any questions you have? Anything you want to know?
Not really.
Nope.
I can't really speak to it. I've been watching you play, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a game.
But it comes out tomorrow. It comes out when
It
everybody's
does.
going to be
Yep.
hearing this.
Comes
so.
out tomorrow, so you might be playing it right now.
Yeah.
Very much a freedom-based game. You can go anywhere and do anything. I really was kind of upset with Bethesda because the other game, what's the one where you can free roam? It's another exploration game. I can't think of it, man. I'm bad with names today.
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. You can fly from outer space to the planet and just fly your ship right down there and land. And I thought you couldn't do that, but no. Bethesda has put real-time distances in your ship and how fast you can go. So you can fast travel to a planet system and fly down there. It's just going to take you several hours for that ship to fly all the way there, and then you could fly right into the planet if you want to.
That sounds so dumb, bro.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I pause for a second.
Doesn't that sound terrible?
Pause for a second. So you're on a planet, okay?
Yes.
And you want to go to a planet on another star system. It's hours away. You
Correct.
put your man on a ship, and then you literally have to wait hours to get there?
No.
Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God, dude. That would have been a solid absolutely not for me.
No.
I know it'd be like you wake up in the morning, he'd set his coordinates, and then he'd go to work.
Hey, honey, can you check the Xbox? Am I on Zenith yet?
Just make sure I'm flying.
Yeah.
Early and often, you can fast travel to anywhere you need to go. You do, though, have that freedom to go wherever you want to go and do whatever you want to do. However, it's a lot like space exploration. There are spots where you go to planets that are uninhabitable. You may have to do a mission there, get in and get out, but like I forgot trivial things like needing to go into my inventory and put my spacesuit on because I went outside of my ship and it was like, you're dying. This atmosphere is not able to be inhabited by you, and I'm seeing my health bar just go. I'm like, fuck. I go get back on my ship, throw my shit on, and off I go. But yeah, it's been very, very interesting. Lots of different universes, places to go, people to talk to, things to do. You can play this game however you would like to play it.
I will say the customization of the character is really cool. There's a lot of different options.
Yeah.
I mean, Jack's character looks eerily similar to him.
Yeah, he's very fat too.
We knew that. I knew that immediately that Jack's character looked exactly like him.
It looks like exactly
because
like
Rhino's
him.
characters all look immediately like him.
Yeah, I mean that makes total sense. But there's
buzz cut, beard.
Yeah.
Yep. Chubby
there's been
cheeks.
A couple of like glitches with like some NPCs.
Oh my God, there was
and
one where a guy was
really
looking at
wild.
me with his body, but his head was turned all the way around.
And I was like, and I mean, this is space, so I'm like, is this an alien or some shit?
Yeah,
And I looked at him, I was like,
that's a
what's
guy.
wrong with him?
And then
he's
finally, the game finally corrected itself,
his
but it
head
looks
just
so
like,
eerie. But Bethesda has come out and said, we embrace the chaos and the bugs. We know this game is going to be a trendsetter. It's going to be huge.
Yeah.
If you've played Skyrim, this game is going to blow you away. You're going to absolutely freaking love it. But just know the universe is very big, vast place, and there are people out there that will beat the brakes off of you if you pick a fight with the wrong person.
Can I be a bounty hunter?
Yes.
Yes, you can.
Can I get a talking raccoon to roll with me that knows?
Yes.
How to
Was it a Balchinian?
Yes.
Balchinian.
Yes, it was a Balchinian. Thank you, Men in Black. But either way, it's been a crazy fun game. It's single player. That's the only part that's kind of okay, but I understand exactly why it is because
I miss my best friend. Thanks, Bethesda.
There you go. Hey man, sorry about your luck. But it's been great. All the backgrounds, all the customizations that you can do. Customizing your ship is insane.
It's really cool.
It's really fun. You can go in there and make the freaking Death Star if you want. Yes, you can. It's badass. Anyway, but just to talk about the freedom of what you can do in that game, there was a thing where I needed a certain item from somebody, and I wasn't able to talk my way out of it. So what I basically did was went in and sabotaged his entire ship to where everybody was going crazy, and I got what I needed to do amidst the chaos. It was crazy fun. I'll tell you guys about it when we hit
We
hit
need to start a
pause.
space gang and just like do drive-bys.
You can do that. So in this game, you can pull up on another ship, and there's a piracy option. You say drop all your cargo and just move on. And you can either dogfight them out there in space and take their shit. You can target other ships, disable their shields and engines, and then board them and go in there, either kill them and take their shit, or just take their ship and it's now your ship. You go down there and register it. It's yours.
You don't get like space guns and stuff?
Yes, you do.
Oh, man,
space guns, brother. Anyway, Starfield has been really cool, not without its bugs, and it is a little clunky at first getting used to the controls and how things operate. I can't tell you how many times I've been in the middle of a dog fight and accidentally hit B, and my character starts slowly drifting out of his seat in the captain's chair, like, you know what? We're dead. You know, like, it's just like,
no big deal.
It's like people just start attacking, and I'm trying to cycle through my ballistic weapons, my missiles, and my lasers, and I accidentally hit B, and my guy's just like, nope, we're done. And he starts walking, and my crew is sitting there like, we just lost engines, we're going down. And other people are like, we need to fire missiles right away. And I'm just like, nope.
And the way that the captain gets out of the chair is very like, do.
Yeah, do.
Like it's very like it's just jovial. So
it's very funny, especially when I docked a ship and I was ready to kill everybody. He's just getting back like, and here we go, gonna murder everyone on the other ship. Kill them in the face and take their shit. Anyway.
That's exactly what it was like, though.
Yes. So Skyrim, it's been cool, man. We'll talk about it more in depth after the game releases and these guys get a chance to get their hands on it in the old Game Pass, where it's 100% free to play.
Not anymore.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
I just went on there. It's not
what
free to
did
play
it
anymore.
say? Was it 34?
There was this, so that free play ended for the pre-download.
What does that mean?
So you got early access to it.
That
was the pre-download. So now it's like $35.
No, $35 is the expansion pack.
Yeah, the premium.
I just went on there the other day.
Yeah, the $35 gets you an expansion pack. It's like extra skins and early access.
We're going to verify that.
Little thing about Rhino right now, he is very notorious for this kind of thing.
Yeah,
being
if you have
100% certain, and then you'll just hear, never mind, let's move on. You're right.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's a Bethesda game, which means it's now owned by Xbox,
owned
so
by
it
Microsoft.
should be on the Game Pass automatically.
All it is just an expansion pack.
He's been too quiet. He's been too quiet. He's already discovered the fact that it is still free.
It is free.
He's like,
you just don't get it until tomorrow, the 6th.
Quick, show us your butthole.
Yeah. He's so quiet right now, guys. If you're watching or you're listening to this, I'll just give you the play-by-play. He's been staring depthly at his phone for the last minute and a half, and
there he is. I already see it.
So Diablo 4. maybe that's what I was looking at. That's my bad. My bad. Maybe that's what I was looking at was the expansion pack.
I love the conviction, right? Not free anymore. Nope. I looked this morning.
Well, dude, if I can't be convicted about something,
we'll say though, is they do make that a little complicated nowadays with games.
They do.
Trying to figure out what you already own, what's an expansion pass.
Thank you so much, Ryan.
So much
Thank you so much for making me look
really
less
do.
stupid. You are my favorite person on this podcast today.
Bro, I forget what was it. I went to go buy something just the other day.
Oh,
Ryan is doing his best. Like, no, but like for real though, like in his defense,
it is.
In his defense.
Like I could have swore I bought this when
I
it
know
came
he
out.
didn't read it, but
so that's what happened when he on the 31st when he had early access. We were trying to log into it, and it was luckily there was like a free thing that was like, what was it? Just the soundtrack.
So it was very confusing because if you got the premium, which I wanted because I love this game anyway, and I have a lot of plans to play the shit out of it. I got on it and it was very clunky because I had to download the premium edition. Then I had to go in and download 2 more separate things that weren't readily available in order for me to get access to the game. So it kept telling me you're too early. So I had to go find the audio book and digital art pack. And as soon as I started downloading that, the game was available to me.
Right. It was weird.
Anyway, let's get into movies and TV, shall we? Kurt and Wyatt Russell are going to play the same character in a Godzilla spinoff show. I am strangely super down for this.
Dude, oh my God, I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
We should all be shocked.
There is a part of me that wants to watch this.
Yeah, me too. I was so shocked to see Kurt Russell assigned to a Godzilla movie first and foremost.
Yeah, I am too.
The image that they show from Godzilla looks really good.
It almost looks like they're going to base their Godzilla off of the same Godzilla from the movies.
Yeah. Which is
it so? Question: is it related?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that makes sense then.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
The one from King of Monsters.
Is my boy podcast going to be on there or whatever?
I hope he is. I hope he is. But Godzilla has been crushing it lately. I'm a big King Kong fan. We've had this argument a lot of times, but Godzilla, man, in those two movies, he was incredible. It looked really
well. We talked about that too. Like with everything that's coming out right now with the regurgitated stuff, the MonsterVerse is the one thing that you could actually be successful with.
Right. And it can be over the top. It can be wild and crazy and be exactly what you're looking for because that's what it is.
Yeah. So with all of those movies, the Kong versus Godzilla, the two Godzilla movies we got, I knew what I was going into. Yeah. You're not going into something that's Oscar worthy or MCU production level, but you got great special effects. You got an okay story.
Right. That's what I'm saying that's why it's so successful. It's because, okay, so the giant gorilla is going to fight the giant lizard. Got it.
Yep.
That's all I need.
Let them fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let them fight. Anyway, I'm excited to see. I think Kurt and Wyatt Russell are both great actors.
Yeah.
Still excited to see him play U.S. agent. That's going to be good. So I'm here for it. Indiana Jones 5 and Mission Impossible 7 lost over $100 million together.
Oh no.
So they broke the golden rule and went past 3.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, guys. It's just that when you're putting Harrison Ford, who's the guy down at Disney Studios that keeps throwing Harrison Ford's name in the pile of good movies to make? Everything they're just like, you know what, guys? Harrison Ford.
You know what's next? Fugitive 2.
Yeah.
Bro, are we finally going to find that one-armed man?
And all he's going to do is be like an internet fugitive and they can't
Where's
find
my family?
My family.
Hey,
give me back my family.
I'm down for Air Force One term 2. I'm about
that would just be Air Force 2. He's the vice president now.
Air Force One.
No, he's got a second term, bro.
Air Force One.
Get off my plane.
Connecting flight.
The layover.
Yeah. Air Force One to the layover.
No, I mean, I heard that movie started out okay, and then they just kind of.
I'm just tired of them trying to show me what looks like a 90-year-old man as an action hero.
You know what would have been actually a decent idea if they felt the need, if they felt so compelled to make an Indiana Jones 5, they should have brought Shia LaBeouf back and made him the new Indiana Jones.
Yep.
Yeah, but he went a little nutso. So
no, he's actually good now. He's working now.
Yeah, now
I'd still take him over.
I would take him over 358-year-old Harrison Ford.
Well, 1,000% would too.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, is he even like getting back into the acting game?
Yeah, he just had that movie a year or so ago with the mentally challenged person where he actually won like
Peanut Butter Falcon.
Yeah, he won like 2 or 3 awards for that.
Oh shit! Yeah,
he got in trouble again after that though, so we'll see.
Oh God, well,
Adam Sandler's new movie from Netflix called Bar Mitzvah is the highest rated movie from him ever.
That's okay.
Have they?
So that movie has his entire family in it. By the way, it's got his wife and kids.
Have they seen Happy Gilmore?
I was gonna say, is it Netflix the highest rated ever on Netflix?
Yeah, it's his directorial highest movie. He didn't direct Happy Gilmore.
That's
right. So is this a comedy, Bar Mitzvah? Please tell me.
It's like a drom-com.
Oh no.
Ugh, like what was that movie with the TV remote?
Click. Yeah.
That was kind of a dramedy.
So actually,
I'm not clicking it.
what's that movie where he played the jeweler that he just came out with like a year or so ago?
Yeah.
Untouched Gems or something?
Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems. Actually, that movie, from what I hear, was amazing.
Yeah. That he was supposed to get an Oscar nod for that one. But I don't know. I'm interested to see dramedies from Adam Sandler. I don't know, man. At this point, he can do whatever he wants. Good for him. He's one of those guys, man. He's Hollywood royalty at this point. Oppenheimer, though, no, Christopher Nolan's 4th highest grossing movie ever now.
It's now his
Nice.
second, actually.
Everybody's seen it.
From the post, it's now his second. I still have
It's now his second highest grossing movie ever.
still have no desire to see it.
I can't wait to see that movie. I'm waiting for it to come out on streaming so I can watch it at home, but I can't wait to see that
I
movie.
was gonna say I'm kind
Cool.
of into watching it too.
Hey, I got 6 hours to kill. Let's throw it on.
Right.
Last of Us production season 2 has potentially found the Abby actress. She is probably the most controversial character that The Last of Us has had from the video games. A lot of people absolutely hate this character. She was voiced by one of my favorite voice actresses of all time, Miss Laura Bailey.
Mhm.
So I'm very excited to see where they come with that from Last of Us.
To expound on that very quickly, I apologize. To expound on that very quickly,
go for it.
The director of The Last of Us has come out and said that he has the second season written in his head.
Wow, cool.
So he's got an idea for what the second season's going to be. I don't know why that was news.
That must be what it's like for my D&D players.
So
what's going to happen?
Yeah.
I have the story in my head.
The story is in my brain.
I have it written down up here in my brain.
It's ready.
They're gonna deviate from the game now.
Nope. That is not.
No, they're not going to deviate from the game.
If he says he's got the story in his head, there's a game that they made. There's two.
Yeah,
but he still has to get from point A to point B
Basically
with
what
the
I'm
character.
telling
Point A is here. Point B is paper.
My
Mhm.
favorite is still Joel recovering and trying to find her again, and saying that he why'd you kill him? He pointed on the net. It's okay. I believe him. That was awesome.
Mhm.
Still a great show. I actually started watching it over again and allowed my children to watch part of it, and one of them immediately ran away.
Is this the show with the mushrooms?
Is this the scary one with
Is
the
this the scary
mushrooms?
one?
Julian,
Hi. No, believe it or not.
What? What'd you
What?
say?
I was asking which child it was that immediately ran away.
You know which child immediately
No,
ran
I don't
away.
think he does because I really don't
Oh.
because he said the wrong one.
Oh yeah.
The J one.
Yeah.
J-
He stuck around and he was so into it.
Yeah, he really did.
Anyway, Barbie, highest grossing WB movie of all time. Good for you. Great.
Good for you.
Still interested. Here's one that I will watch every episode religiously. Pokemon getting a live action series.
Okay.
I'm in, boys.
Okay.
I'm
I don't
in.
like it.
I don't like it.
I don't like them taking all these anime movies and trying to make them live action.
Did
Yeah,
you
has
see
anybody
Detective
seen One
Pikachu?
Piece?
One
Have
Piece.
you watched One Piece?
No.
I'm like, for some reason, interested in watching
Nope. I hear
Really?
Naruto's
that. I don't
coming
know.
next. I'm like,
I've heard good things.
All right, I'm interested.
I've heard not good things.
Well, it's going to be Japanese though. It's getting released in Japan. I don't know when a dubbed version will be here, but
What? No, they
Pokemon?
have Netflix and the Pokemon.
the Pokemon drama show, yeah, it's getting released in Japan.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
yes, for you.
No. But Detective Pikachu was amazing. That was such a good movie.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved every moment of that movie, and I was really hoping because the art that Chet chose is an image from that. So tell him
Yeah.
he's even further from eye contact that he's ever been. And don't tell him I said that. Tell him that came down the pipeline. Anyway, I'm excited. I would love to see a live action Pokemon. That's going to be a legitimate show. That'd be so cool. It actually debuts in Japan October 19th. Ooh.
Yeah.
Pocket Filled with Adventure is the name of the show. Don't put that in your URL.
I was gonna say,
put that. Do not put Pocket Full of Adventure into a search engine.
With,
You know,
based out-
Hey, I've got one more quick funny story based off of that comment right there. So in 7th grade, you remember when they would wheel out the TV with the computer and everything,
yes.
like you watched. So
the VHS thing or whatever.
I'm taking a test one day, and my teacher is on the computer, and she had it projected onto the TV. She was doing online shopping,
Nice.
and she was
God.
trying to go to dicksportingoods.com. When she typed in the URL, she forgot the sporting goods,
Oh no!
and we were privy to a couple of images.
Got the sauce and down, huh?
Doc,
Yeah.
are you sure that she was trying sporting goods? Like, truthfully,
I don't know why she would do that in front of a bunch of 13-year-olds if that's what she was genuinely trying. I would like to give her the benefit of the doubt.
Dude, Rhino just looked up and was like, "Hey, nice cow."
Dad?
Dad?
I don't know if I'm down with this anymore. Ewan McGregor has proposed an Obi-Wan season 2 idea.
Oh my god.
And this is kind of what I want to talk about. Star Wars coming out on Disney Plus. Has anybody been watching Ahsoka?
Nope.
Yes,
Yes. Oh my God.
it's good.
Whew. This
So
one
good.
has the potential so far to rival Andor. Nothing is going to beat Andor for me. Andor stands alone. It's incredible. Such a good show. I will die on that hill. Andor to me is absolute perfection. I don't care if Star Wars or not. But Ahsoka, damn, it's so good.
Very good.
It really is. And I was going to say, when we talked about Marvel earlier and things that need to change, Star Wars, we've said this on the show before, is totally benefiting from watching what Marvel is doing.
Yeah. Yeah, 100% it is.
This
I said this to you.
Yeah, go ahead.
I apologize. I was going to say, I said this to you the other night. Star Wars is on the verge of taking the reins from the MCU as the dominant studio for Disney.
It could.
In my opinion.
It definitely could, with the way that they're pacing everything.
Yeah.
And the quality that they're putting out for these shows. Now, I think they learned during the same time as Marvel pumping out shows with Obi-Wan and Boba Fett, but everything else from Star Wars has hit hard. It's been good.
Mandalorian, phenomenal. Andor, phenomenal.
Yep.
Ahsoka is phenomenal.
Yep.
But I think there's a little difference between the two. When's the last time there was a Star Wars movie?
What was it?
The sequel trilogy. 2019 was the last one, I think.
Yep.
Really?
And so here's the thing. Those movies, I think, were also COVID babies and just terrible. And they were definitely not going to be expounded upon. But here's the thing. Now Star Wars is in such a great place with the groundwork they're laying with their TV shows. What Star Wars is doing is what Marvel should have been doing. Yeah. And Marvel does not hit half as hard as these Star Wars shows do, because these Star Wars shows could stand alone and just be themselves.
Yep.
The Marvel TV shows, you expect them to be a part of something bigger, and maybe that's our fault as a consumer that we're sitting there thinking, okay, this is going to play into something else. So when it kind of becomes this self-contained story, we're just like, I don't get it. What does this have to do with anything? And that could be a problem. But Star Wars, I would be happy if Mando never saw the big screen. I really could, because he's crushed it in his own platform, and they're making it out to him just being Mandalorian. Not everything this is going to be this big grandiose story in the future. That the ending of season 3 with him finding his little cottage and sitting down and continuing to take bounties, we're able to say, okay, this is just this guy's story. And it doesn't have to be part of this huge overarching thing, even though we know he'll be seen again. But I just love the way Star Wars is doing it. And I think they're absolutely crushing it right now.
Well, another thing too that Star Wars is benefiting from is that a lot of the content we're getting right now is brand new content.
Right.
And I'm not saying what Marvel is doing isn't new content, but it's stuff that at least comic fans have known for decades.
Yeah.
Well, they're just falling into the movies.
Mandalorian is a newer character. The Andor story was a newer story. This Ahsoka story is expounded on an older story. It's untold stuff that we've never seen before.
The stories. It's going from Star Wars Rebels, and it's also going from
the Clone Wars.
The Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So it's got a lot to go on. I really enjoy it.
So I think Star Wars has a lot of untapped lore that a lot of people don't know about, which is they're going to use to their benefit.
Wholeheartedly agree. I mean, I could see, depending on how it goes with the show, a live action Bad Batch.
Oh God, that'd be amazing.
You could see a lot of really good things happen, and you don't need to see everybody's face in these. You just need the voice and the helmet.
100%.
You know what I mean? It really could go a lot of different ways. That being said, I'm excited for Star Wars to keep going with Ahsoka. This has been some of my favorite, and I wouldn't even call this Jedi content.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't.
No, she's not a Jedi, and the bad guys aren't Jedis either.
Bad guys aren't Sith.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. They're just force wielding people.
Right. And I think this has been the best way to go about telling these types of stories. It's not go ahead.
I was going to say they've been beating into our heads for decades that the force lies in everyone.
Right.
Every single creature that exists has the force in them, but all we've ever gotten has been Sith and Jedi.
Yep. And everything has been
now
check with the Jedi Council. I need to go do this. There's always
yes, exactly. Now we're finally getting people who are both good and evil, but they're not Jedi and Sith. They're other people.
Yep.
Other motives, other things besides destroying the Jedi or building up the Empire. This is more story that we've gotten in a couple of these shows than we've gotten in the last 6 movies, it feels like to me.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, new episode comes out in 18 minutes.
Oh shit.
You know what?
That being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it. Episode 155. I didn't mean to interrupt you, my buddy. What were you saying?
Oh, I was just saying they need to get a standalone Ronin series.
Woo, I would watch it in a heartbeat.
Oh, all day.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us. We will ideally see you next week without any hurricanes or anything barring our path. I've been your host, Jack Austin. Ryan, Rhino, Miss Megan, so good to have you on the show. We'll see you all next week.
See you.